Hi, sweetie. Let me just see here. Let's see. How are you today? You
Hello,
happy
teacher.
today? Let's just see here. Bow. Let's see. Okay, Bow, I just want to see your previous lesson. Um, no, not that. You want pet trainer and here. No. Um, what book are you learning, sweetie? Are you learning flyers? Okay, let's go here.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do, I just want to see what test I did. Flyers test 1. Okay, let's do test 2. Test 2 or test 1. Let's do flyers 1. Test 1. Let's do test 1. Okay, hang on. I've done this one before. Let's do test. Have you done this one before, Bao?
Yes.
Have you done this one before? The story? Do you
Yes.
know the story, Bao? You've done this before? Yes or no? No.
No.
Okay, we're gonna do the story then today, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Bao, try and tell me what you can see here.
Um. Firstly, King
King Richard.
King Richard. King Richard is standing and wait for car.
Yes.
She is in the he is in a castle. Next, King Richard is very King Richard is very um very gory. Because the car is uh the car is broken. The car is broke.
It's
Broken.
The car is broken, yes.
Yes. Suddenly, they are called uh a staff farm factor. They are called the staff from factory. He is help them then the firefighter is the firefighter is the firefighter went to have the went to have King Richard and King Richard to go. Finally, he is on the firefighter car.
The firefighter engine, yes, he's at the firefighter engine.
Firefighter engine.
Yes. Okay, let me just write your name here that you are learning. Okay, let me type it for you, okay? First, King
King
Richard
has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him to through the street.
through the streets. Through the streets.
Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working.
Engine is not working.
Engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car. But he can't do it. He is very he says sorry to King. The king is very the king is very unhappy.
Yes?
Yes.
The firefighter is saying.
The king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and pointing to the fire engine.
He's saying something to the king and points to the fire engine.
Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going to the streets, and he is waving to people, to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. Okay, see if you can read it one more time for me, okay?
Yes. First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He said sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. The firefighter is saying something to the king and pointed to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. One more time.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and pointed to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
I all look happy to see. Okay, do you think you can remember or do you want to read it one more time? See? Okay. Do you want to read it again? Or do you want to do you think you can remember it? Can you remember it?
One again.
Okay.
But King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He was a beautiful car waiting to take him through the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of fire engine. He is going through the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
They all look happy to see him. Okay,
All
good.
are happy.
Let's see if you can remember now, okay?
Yes. First the king is first the king want to go to want to city as he has a nice he has a nice car. He is waiting the car. Next the car next the driver is unhappy and because it is broken. The driver is called the mechanic to fix the car. But he say King he say sorry King, and he is the end. King Richard is very unhappy. Next, the firefighter is have King Richard to city by fire engineer. He is pointing he's pointing his car. Finally, the king is on top of fire engineer. He is waving to everyone.
Good. Okay, he's waving to everyone. Now we're going to ask and answer questions about Mr. Brown's work, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take this out. Okay. And this out. How old is Mr. Brown?
Brown's work?
No,
How
no,
is
how
Mr. Brown? Yes. He is 47 years old. What is her job? What is his job? What
is Mr. Brown's job?
Yes.
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
Manager.
Where does Mr. Brown work? Mr. Brown work at an office.
Mr. Brown works at an office.
At an office. What time?
No, you can say, hang on, it's not officer, it's office. Office. Mr. Brown works in an office. In an office.
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown start works at 8 o'clock. What hobby Mr. Brown?
What is Mr.
Mr.
Brown
Brown's hobby.
hobbies?
Yes. Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding.
Good. Okay. How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown works at in an office.
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
What is Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown's hobby are skate and snowboarding.
Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown works in an office.
In an office. Good. Okay, now you can ask questions.
Yeah. How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock.
What does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown works in an office.
What is Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding.
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
What time
Okay.
does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock. Oops. Okay, let's go here. Let's ask about Mrs. Peter, okay?
Yes.
Okay. How old is Mrs. Peters?
Mr. Peters is 33.
33 years old.
Yes, old.
Okay. What job does Mrs. Peters have? What is Mrs. Peters' job?
Mr. Peters' job is businesswoman. Businesswoman.
Is a businesswoman. Good. Where does Mrs. Peters work?
Mr. Peters works at her shop.
At a shop, okay. What time does Mrs. Peters start work?
Mr. Peters start work at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, okay. What is Mrs. Peters' hobbies?
Mr. Peters' hobby is play
two. Hobbies are
party and go.
are puzzles and golf.
Puzzles and golf.
Golf, yes, good. Okay, let's say the story one more time, okay?
Yes. The king went to the city. He has a nice car and he is waiting. Next, he is very the driver is unhappy because the car his car is broke.
His car has is broken, yes. Or is not work. No, is broken or is not working.
It's broken. Then the driver is called the mechanic and to fix the car. But the mechanic says, "Sorry, King, I can't." And the king is very unhappy. Next, the firefighter want to have him and phone the fire engineer. Finally, the king is on top of fire engineer and waving to everyone.
Good. Okay, let's ask questions about Mr. Brown. You can ask first.
How is Mr. Brown's work? How is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
What is Mr. Brown's job?
What is Mr. Brown's job?
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown works in an office.
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock.
What is Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Okay. How old is Mrs. Peters?
Mr. Peter is 33 years old.
Good. What is Mrs. Peters' job?
Mr. Peters' job is businesswoman. Businesswoman,
Yes. Where does Mrs. Peters work?
Mr. Peter works at her shop.
What time does Mrs. Peters start work?
Mr. Peter start work at 9 o'clock.
What are Mrs. Peters' hobbies?
Mr. Peter's hobby is puzzle and golf.
Puzzles and golf.
Puzzle and golf.
Puzzles and playing golf. Okay. Let's see if we can find the difference here.
Yes.
Make it a little bit bigger and
Um,
see if we can.
in the first picture, uh, in the first picture, I can see a girl is go to library, but in the second picture, the girl is go out the library. In the
Please
first
go.
picture,
Yes.
go out. In the first picture, the man is to earn the book, but in the second picture, the man is writing. In the first picture, um, in the first picture, the flower is on the shelf book, but in the second
On the
picture,
bookshelf. On the bookshelf.
on the bookshelf, but in the second picture, there isn't have flower on the bookshelf. In the first picture, the clock is the clock it the clock is 3 o'clock, but in the second picture, it is 20 o'clock. In the
It's
first
12
picture,
o'clock, not 20 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. In the first picture, the newspaper is on the table, but in the second picture, the book is on the book is on the table. Oh, in the first picture, the bookshelf is short, but in the second picture, the bookshelf is tall. Oh. In the first picture, the flower. In the first picture, there isn't have flower on the table, but in the second picture,
there isn't any flowers.
There isn't have any flower in the table, but
On
in
the
the second
table.
picture, there are any flower on the table.
Remember, look here. Here we see flowers are on the bookshelf, and here the flowers are on the table. Okay, that's what you can say there. Good. Okay, let's go up. We're gonna go do some Unit 2 reading. One page. Here. Do this one first. Let's make it bigger for you. Okay. Hi, Sophia. Are you excited for your birthday party next week? I can't wait, but there's still a lot to do. Would you like some help?
Um. Would you guys somehow?
Now my mom is making my cake. No, not that one. Different one. Yes. Yes, please. I haven't decided what games to play. Well, the cafe does have Wi-Fi, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Oh, yes, we could play online games together. That's right. Have you heard of the new sports game?
That's right.
Have you heard of the new sports game? Uh-uh, not that's a great idea. Have you heard of the new sports game? Um, okay, try number 3. Yes, we could have a good, come on. No, let me help you. Hang on. Would you like some help? Yes, please. I haven't decided. So that's H. Well, the cafe does have Wi-Fi. Yes, it does. That's right. Have you heard of a new sports game? Um, yes. Come on. Oh, I think it's E. Hang on. Yes, we could have a competition. Come on, it's time for class. We could meet after school to talk about it. Um, that's a great idea. Thanks for your help. No problem. See you later. Okay, good. Yeah, see you later. Okay, now this one. Okay, let's read here.
One day last April, I was walking my dog there in the park. It was early in the morning before school, and it was quite um
Mm-mm. It was quite, let me help you. It was quite foggy.
Okay.
Foggy.
So I couldn't see very well. We are walking along a path.
Along a path by the river. Yes. Path.
By the river when suddenly I heard the
I
um
heard
I heard the
sound. Good. Yes.
then I heard something like falling into the water. Then I heard the children shouting, "Hurt! I can't swim," he said. There wasn't uh anyone around, and I could see where the sound was coming from. Um, so I turned to Ralphie and said, "Go on, boy." He ran past me and jumped into the river.
And jumped into the river. Good.
Um, my dog is come. My dog is coming to save you. I said, um, uh, I say, hold in onto him. Soon, Jerry was pulling a small boy out of the river. He was very wet and very scary. "You are safe now," I said to him. Then I uh, uh, uh,
Then I to George. Then I.
uh, cause, no, um, oh, spoke.
Then I spoke to George. Yes. Then I spoke to George. What does George get? What did George get? The boy wasn't naughty. He fell in. George got a sausage. The boy wasn't
Yes.
naughty. It wasn't a naughty boy. And he didn't go swimming in the river. He helped someone. Okay.
Is it?
Okay. Here, let's read here. Rain,
Rain,
sun,
sun,
wind, ice.
wind, ice, and snow are all different kinds of the weather. Um, on Earth, the weather is colder if you live in the uh near the north or, the far south, and hotter in the middle of the planet. Some of the countries in the north have long winter with snow on the ground from
No, not the
um
far. It's right on, yes. On Earth, the weather is coldest if you live in the far north or the far south. Okay. Some of the countries in the north have long winters with snow on the ground for most of the year. Most of the year.
yes. Mm, they also have long nights with only a few hours of light uh past the day. Ice on the road makes um the driver make driver difficult and car need to have special tires. Um, so green people in hot country uh
Okay, so
uh
they also have
people
long nights
in
with
hot
only a few
country would
hours of
find it
light
difficult stay
during the day. Ice on the road
um,
makes driving difficult, and cars need to have special tires. Without wind, people in hot countries would find it difficult to stay cool.
stay country are great for beach holiday, but if they are too hot, they often have desert. In the desert, there is very little rain every year. Plant and
Good.
animal find it difficult to live there in short weather because there is so little water. Country to
Countries,
country that have much rain
that
are
have
usually
enough rain. Enough rain.
very enough. Very green because trees, grass, and plants grow well there. Um, but there are also a lot of candidates in their countries.
Good. Well done. Okay, good. We're gonna stop here, sweetie. You did a good job today. Well done, Bao. I'm gonna see you next time, okay?
Goodbye,
Bye,
teacher.
sweetie. Bye.